Welcome back to Daily Dose of Hebrew. Let's read 1 Samuel 3:20 today and then look at the syntax and translation. Let's read this together. Vayeda kol Yisrael midan ve'ad be'er shava ki ne'eman Shemuel lenavi ladonai. For an overall translation as we begin today, we get this, and then all Israel knew from Dan to Beersheba that Samuel was trusted or was established as a prophet of the Lord. Now, the verse opens with the Vav consecutive, carrying the narrative forward. The verbal is the call imperfect 3ms of the root yada, yod, dalet, ayin. Notice here the lengthened vowel on the preformative yod of the 3ms imperfect. The original yod of the root yada has fled, making the original hirik of the performative vowel lengthened to a sere. Now this is typical of R1 yod verbs, so it's a pattern to look for. All of Israel here is the subject, and it's a collective singular. Obviously, all of Israel implies a plurality of people, but as a collective singular, the subject-verb agreement will be singular. Hence, we get a singular verb. The prepositional phrase from Dan to Beersheba clarifies or explains what is meant by kol Yisrael. The whole prepositional phrase is locative from the place of Dan to the place of Beersheba. But certainly the implication is that it is all of the people in Israel who know something about Samuel. Now, the next clause begins with ki and is further explaining what all of Israel knows. They know that Samuel was trusted or established as a prophet of the Lord. The verbal here is the nifal perfect 3ms of aman, aleph, mem, nun. Now notice that the performative vowel changed to a segol due to the influence of the R1 guttural aleph. When an R1 guttural lands in the silent schwa position, it will often flip that silent schwa to a composite schwa. And in the nifal, it will follow the vowel class of the performative. So since there is no such thing as a hadif hirik, composite schwa, within that EI vowel class, the hadif must be a hadif segol. So when the schwa flips to a composite, then the performative vowel also follows suit. So here we get the segol in both the R1 schwa and in the performative vowel of the nifal. And the nifal gives us the idea of a passive here, so we get Samuel was trusted or was established. Now the lamed on prophet here is a typical construction for the adverbial accusative of situation. It is often preceded by haya to say, such and such existed in the status of, or such and such existed as, something like that. Here the haya is missing, and with the passive verb haya is really unnecessary too. Everyone knew that Samuel was established as a prophet or in the status of a prophet. Now the final prepositional phrase is literally to the Lord, but the lamed here is best taken as a possessive and is translated in English best as of, a prophet of the Lord. So the whole translation one more time today is this: Then all Israel knew from Dan to Beersheba that Samuel was trusted as a prophet of the Lord. So that will wrap it up for today, and until next time, shalom.